Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody can hear me okay. This is a pretty freaking huge thing for me to do here. Um, I'm, I'm, I'm sharing my past, really. I really don't want to see comments here, so I wonder if there's a way to hide that. Let's see if I can do this. No, okay, that's fine. So please share if you have any questions or anything. If anybody's watching this, I see two people on here. Any questions, just wait till the end. Feel free to ask away if you want to. Super nervous, had to take some liquid courage, no lie. Here it goes, all right? So, the reason I'm doing this is to let people know why I'm so serious about bringing more people. I can't, my words aren't working. Anyways, I'm trying to get more people to speak out, especially when it comes to suicide, depression. They're very, very terrible things, and they're happening daily to so many people. It may not be affecting you now, but someday, unfortunately, it will affect somebody in your life. I'm not wishing this on anybody. I'm just saying, through a friend, through a family, coworker, you will know somebody that is either dealing with depression if you're not that person already, or that has committed suicide because they have felt alone, lost, or forgotten. So you're not, just to let you know. That's why I'm doing this, to let, I just said let you know, but to make sure that you understand that you are not alone at all. Okay, so here we go. All right. Can y'all see this? Okay, good. Not really. All right. So we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. So as a child, well, let's start before I was a child then. So I was born so that my biological father and my mother could get married. At that time, she was underage, and you had to have permission, which that was a thing that went around 40 years ago. This is 40 years ago. So you had to get permission from your parents to get married. So the only way that they could get permission was to get pregnant. So I was born so that my parents could get, my biological father and my mom could get married. After I was born, curveball, apparently things went south in the relationship. My biological father wanted nothing to do with me, so he tried to kill her 3 times, to my knowledge. And I was witness to a couple of those times. But yeah, so that's early childhood, 5 and under, I believe. So one time when I was at home, the cops kicked down. I'm completely alone. Again, 5, 6-ish years old. I left at home alone, and the cops decided to kick open the door. I didn't know what was going on. Again, super young, and there was stuff in the house. I'm not going to get into details because that's not super important to the story, but there was stuff in the house. That's why they kicked the door open. So they were able to get hold of my aunt so that I wouldn't go to a foster place. So luckily I got to stay with my family. So a little side note, this does get pretty dark. I don't have a lot of jokes in here. I apologize. This is just me being completely open and honest and raw with y'all. So luckily my aunt came and got me. I started staying with them. I stayed with my papa. After that, me and my papa had the greatest freaking bond. Like, seriously, I still love him so much to this day, which is normal, right? For you to still love your grandparents. But this bond we have, I don't know if there's no words for it, but my papa, great man. He wasn't perfect. I found out not too long ago he had flaws. I was introduced as a young child to pornography, which is not something a child should be around, but that's something that has affected my life big time for 30 some odd years. I'm 42. I'm just now trying to get a hold of it. It is a generational curse, I believe, so I do not want to pass that on to my daughters. But that's part of that there. So I did for many years. I think 5, 6, 7 years until I was around 12. I lived with my papa, my great grandma, and my aunt, and we would always have this morning ritual to where we would go to the bathroom. I believe it was the weekends. That's when the funnies came in on the weekend papers or the comic strips, however you want to say it. But we always did this every single morning. He would read me the comic strips, and then we'd take a shower together. Don't be weird. That's just something what we did. We just had this incredible bond. It wasn't perverted or nothing like that. It was just, it was normal. But this one morning in particular, forgive me, this is the moment that's really, really difficult with me, even today. It gets me kind of choked up here. But this one morning in particular, he asked me to go see what time breakfast would be ready, which was a little odd to me. He never did that before. So I went and asked my aunt, hey, what time is breakfast going to be? Again, I'm young, 11, 12 years old. She tells me what time breakfast is going to be. So I go back and, excuse me, I go back into the bathroom, and my papa was laying on the ground. Again, super young child. I, as an adult now, know exactly what happened. But as a young child, I had no idea. So I got down next to him, and I was like shaking his body, saying, "Papa, wake up!" And he wouldn't wake up, right? So I went back and to my aunt, my great grandma, was like, "Hey, Papa's not waking up." At that moment, they started bawling. I didn't know what was going on at all, so I went. No, so I asked them what was going on. Why are they crying? And they said because he died. I freaking lost it, right? So I ran back to the bathroom, tears coming out of my eyes, similar to these tears, but a lot more. Goodness gracious. And I knelt down to him, shaking him, begging him to wake up. Begging him to wake up. Goodness gracious. Sorry, guys. He was literally my entire world. He was my best friend. He was like my father. Everything. Anyways, sorry. So at that moment, I felt like a just crazy deep, dark. That's dumb. Oh, well, I shouldn't be getting emotional from here on out. That's still a pretty difficult thing for me to discuss 30 plus years after the fact. I'm telling you, I love this guy. He was everything to me. But after the moment we found out that he died, it felt like this fog. I know it may sound crazy to a lot of you. Some of you that understand what that means get it. But it felt like this fog entered my mind, and something inside of me changed. Before I was extremely artistic. I was writing poems for friends at school. I was freaking drawing a lot. I was really, really great at these things. But after he died, the darkness, maybe that's a better describer than saying this fog. This darkness entered into me. Bam. So that's my early freaking childhood there. I went through a lot. I was here. So I wrote a lot down. It's like 4 pages. I'm trying to make this as brief as possible here. Again, this is super dark. So, anyways, I was molested as a young child by a family member. I have been addicted to drugs, to meth. Very addicted to it. I love that drug so much. It made me feel more great than I'd ever felt in my entire life. I felt like I was truly myself. It took that fog away, right? It was a terrible drug. so terrible. Do not ever use that drug. I'm dead serious. It does eat your soul. No matter how great it makes you feel, it is freaking terrible. So if I find out you're using it, we will be having a talk. No joke, dead serious. But yeah, I've been freaking suicidal after that. What else? I've been beaten. I've been by family. I'm not going to get specific again, but I've been beaten by family members. I've been homeless, and I've had to dig through fast food garbage to get food because I had no other way to get food. But so that's the past, right? Trying to start from the beginning. Won't let me. Okay. I will tell you if you want later on. I'm just going to run through this here real fast here. If you don't mind, save all this till the end. And any questions or anything, I'll get back to you. I'm sweating. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. So, yeah, that's just the past there. So, I say all of this here to give everybody a brief, and that was brief, kind of introduction to why I am going through all this here, why it is so important to me to let others know that they're not alone with with anxiety. I dealt with that before. I had no idea what it was years ago. I found that out, thank goodness, but I struggled with anxiety big time. Before starting this, I had to drink a good amount of wine just to give me to help with those nerves. I don't drink all the time, very rarely, but it did help because I'm doing it here, right? Anyways, I don't know. My brain goes all over the place. I believe I have ADHD. Haven't been tested for that. Anyways, okay, yeah, that's why I'm. Forgive me. That's why I'm letting everybody know why I'm doing this here, is to let you know that you're not alone at all with these terrible, negative, dark thoughts that you're having, or that you have had in the past. I know those thoughts. I've been there. I still do go through there. It still happens to me. I really don't think it'll ever get better. I've just learned different coping mechanisms to get me through that, and sometimes even those don't help. And I've had amazing friends, most recently an amazing friend that was there for me when I was back to a really dark time. She was absolutely amazing. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you so much. If you see this, maybe you won't see this. I don't know. I know you're busy right now. But so that's the past. So more recently, bam, I had spinal surgery, right? Apparently, I hurt my back, so I used to ride bulls when I was in a place called Boys Ranch. I went there, more childhood stuff, but I went there, and I rode bulls, fell off a bull. That may have been the beginning of when I hurt my back, but fast forward 30-ish years, 20 late-ish years, I had to have spinal surgery, right? So I was out of work for freaking 6 months when I had spinal surgery. I wasn't able to work. I was in too much pain to even sit at a desk and take calls. It would bring me to tears. Kind of like what I'm going through now, but that's a separate thing altogether. So I had spinal surgery. I wasn't able to work for 6 months. I should have had income through my disability, short-term disability, through those government properties, organizations, whatever you want to call them. That didn't happen. So luckily, during that entire time, I entered an extremely dark depression. It made me realize a lot of things about how alone we really are, and that's a serious thing. On a different note here, in life, we think that we can rely on other people which is great if you always have people there for you. In a way, it's not really, because if you're never alone, or if you're never forced to face things yourself, you never understand the strength that you have inside of you. And I really think that that's missing a lot in this world. We have allowed our children and others to always know that they have a safe place, which is great. Again, it's fantastic. But on the other coin, it can lead to what's going on now. Increased depression, anxiety, and the suicide epidemic. I mean, it is growing. It's not shrinking. It is constantly growing. I still can't believe I'm doing this. But, yeah. Okay. Another side thing here. I'm not a psychiatrist. I've been to college. I've taken some psychology courses, but I'm not a psychiatrist by any means. I've just been through a lot in my life, and if anybody has been through school in life, they know that all school really teaches you is the basis of things. It just gives you the ground for you to build on, for you getting into real life. I'm not saying anything negative towards anybody that has taken school for psychology. Any school, really, it's great. But my point is that you understand, those that have been through school, that it only gives you a sliver of what you really need to know. Real life experiences are what really get you to where you're needing to go, with wherever you're trying to go in life. But yeah, there's that part. So back to the more recent part about me being in my last extremely dark depression. I was on the verge of losing my home, my job, my family, because I was going to be homeless, man. And in my mind, I would never speak to my family again. I'm talking about any of my family members, my daughters. I would never see them again. And throughout all the bad things that happened in my life, I was done letting life screw me over. So I was going to take control of the situation once and for all. So I had the note written out. I had the method of taking my life. Literally everything was planned out to a T. But luckily, there was family members and friends that were able to donate money, so that I was able to pay rent and everything like that. I was still depressed, so yes, that helped with making sure that I had somewhere to stay, which was amazing. So thank you to everybody that was able to donate money for food, your time that you've given to hang out with me, literally everything. You don't understand how much it means to me. But thank y'all for that. But yeah, so I had the spinal surgery, right? And again, right before then, I knew, because any time you have surgery, there's always a risk for death. If you didn't know that, sorry, now you know. But I was okay with that if something was to happen and if I didn't wake up. So after surgery, part of this is drug induced, definitely, because some of the drugs they had me on were something like methamphetamines. I don't remember the exact drugs, but it made me feel like this fog that had entered my mind from a 12, 11, 13-year-old child was finally gone. So during that time, after spinal surgery, when I finally got home, I started writing every single day, multiple hours, notes, letters, and I've been uploading stuff on YouTube and Facebook just to let people know that with whatever you're dealing with, you're not alone. Again, with those thoughts of anxiety and depression, you're most definitely not alone. I have been there. There are so many people in this world that have been there. You don't need to feel like you're alone at all. I know that you do. I know that I did before. You're not alone at all. I promise you, you're not. You are so freaking loved, even though you don't feel like it. You may not be in the greatest family dynamic, but you're not alone. I promise you're not. There are people always there. There are psychiatrists that are always there. There are just regular people like me that just have life experience, that is always there to be there for you. If you just want to say something, get things off your chest. If you just need somebody to listen to you, that's fine, because sometimes that's all we need also. We don't need somebody to talk back. We just need somebody to listen. And I'm 100% here to do that for you. So this is only a beginning. What I'm doing here, I'm still kind of shocked that I've finally done this, but I couldn't keep putting it off. It was time to let people know where I had come from. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me. If you know my Facebook or my personal cell phone number, and I'll answer any questions that you have at all. I'm a complete open book. That's another reason why I'm doing this, to let you know that I am completely open, and I have nothing to hide from anybody at all. I love you guys so freaking much. Thank you to everybody that's watched this, that has taken time from your day, from whatever you had going on. It really means the most in the world to me, that you have taken your time to watch this. I do ask, on a kind of selfish thing here, that if you do think that this may help somebody, that you share this with others, to let them know that they themselves are not alone, and there are other people out there that have been through what they're going through, whether it's being homeless, being molested, being literally anything. There are people that have been through that. All right, so you're not alone. Freaking love you guys. Hope you have a great day. I'm getting off here now. All right, bye.